Welcome to the Metal Prognosis. My name is Lee, and on today's video we are matching up the Metal AMD-1 with the Solid Studio by Nux. Haven't done one of these videos in a while, but it's no mic capture of a guitar tone. So all we're doing is plugging the guitar straight into this distortion, going into this Solid Studio, which has a cab simulator in it, an amp and cab simulator. A lot more tiny and convenient for small studios and other good things, and straight into the mixing console, and that is it. So let's plug this in, see how it all sounds, have some fun, and then we'll have a chat about it afterwards to see what pros and cons and how you can utilize it, or if there's too many cons it's not worth utilizing. But we're going to find out right now. Now we have everything set up and ready to go. Grab my jacks in here. So this is what it sounds like. So I've just got the cab and the amp engaged, and we get a pretty bland and boring. Nah, we don't want that. We want the fun stuff. So at the moment, we've got everything set at high noon. I don't know if you can see because it's a bit, as cool as this pedal looks, it's very glaring. So let's turn the gain all the way down so we can dial it in. So now start dialing it in a bit. Bit more level. We're just cranking it now. So we're getting a little bit of hiss, but that's not here or there. Let's just dial it back now to get rid of the hiss. So right there, so not that much actually, don't need to bring it back too much. Anyone playing at home? I did miss a couple of notes there. That's sounding all right. It's sounding pretty darn good. Now let's muck around just a little bit with the tone now, just to see. Let's just see what happens, really. Chuck it all the way down, which normally sounds like rubbish. Definitely lost my rhythm there a little bit there. And there. This could arguably be the first pedal I've ever come across where having the tone all the way down didn't sound bad. Definitely think it sounds a little bit better having it up high, but it wasn't. I'm super surprised how good it sounded all the way down. Let's crank it again. Really, really surprised on how this is all reacting and kind of meshing up together. Butchered that riff. Sometimes you have those days where the rhythm hand just doesn't want to play the game. It's got a little bit of muck there. Go away. A little bit of plastic from, or silicon from the actual pedal. There's not much else to really say about this. I think that turned out really, really cool. The fact that I kind of lost myself a little bit in there, just jamming and having fun. And when you can take a step away from actual the tone and get lost in just jamming and playing, that's kind of a sign that you got it and you're in a good place where it inspires you to be creative and to compose and to jam. So that's really cool. So let's leave it there, because otherwise it's going to be another video of me just half an hour sitting here jamming, just doing stuff and doodling on the guitar, which I definitely enjoy doing. Might not be the funnest for a video. So sit back, relax. I'll do a quick jam now. We'll double up on guitars with this. We'll add bass and drums and see how it all fits in. And we'll have a chat about it afterwards. So I'll see you all on the other side. Time for some final thoughts with the Metal AMD-1 hooked up with the Solid Studio by Nux. So firstly, dialing in this. I'll quickly go over. Super easy, super straightforward. This is a pretty user-friendly pedal. As you saw in the setup that I did in the breakdown, we got it pretty much this straight away. So if you were to get this and just put everything at 12 o'clock, maybe push the level a little bit to get a bit more oomph, but have everything, the tone and the gain at 12 o'clock and just turn it on, the characteristics you get out of this is pretty sweet straight off the bat. So it's very surprised in that. And this is the very first pedal, which I think I mentioned before, where if you got the tone turned all the way down, it still sounded decent, and you still had a usable tone to run with, which I don't think I've ever had that in a pedal. So to have one in a cheap one like this, very happy and very surprised. So yeah, big tick for that one. Onto the Solid Studio. Bit of transparency, I'm not using the factory settings on this because you can load in your own cab or IR impulse responses in here. So I've got the Roman from Ginger IR pack from Coffee Audio loaded up in here because they loaded up super easy when I did a video on it before, and I've kind of kept it like that because they sound awesome. And when something sounds awesome, why change? Because yeah, it worked. So setup wise, so let's run through a few of the pros and cons as quickly as we can. So this video doesn't drag on too long. Pros is setup. Setup was super simple. Guitar straight in here, pedal straight into here, straight into the mixing desk, and if you didn't have a mixing desk, straight into your audio interface, and you're ready to go. Nothing else needs to be done, no other processing, no other plugins running through that, nothing, just straight raw. So if you're going through either your audio interface for your computer, for if you're using a digital ADAT or reel-to-reel, if you've got the money and the patience to do reel-to-reel, this is such an amazing way of approaching it because it's all direct input, clean signal, and straight in. And as you saw how easy it was, just pretty much on, and we had a sound ready to go. Another pro is you don't actually need to know that much to get this rocking. As soon as you plug them all in, muck around with a couple of dials until you find something comfortable and you're ready to go. There's no other really trickery, sound engineering or producing or guitar tech type of secrecy that you need to, or huge journey that you need to go through to find out how to utilize these. They are pretty much plug and play, which is really, really handy. Another couple of things that are really good is the size. The fact that, you know, Answer speakers are awesome, but they do take up a bit of size. These take up near to none, which is really cool. So if you're working at a small desk like this, or in a bedroom, or whatever limitations you might have, or even if you're working in a decent sized studio, having this just in the control room and not having to go in the instrument room is really, really cool. So then you can hear it straight away and you can kind of talk to the producer, or they can coach you through it, or whatever the scenario might be. Really, really handy. The other thing I want to touch base on very quickly is the price. So I can't actually remember all the prices, but I think this was 230 Australian dollars, brand new. I can't remember how much the Ginger pack was. I think it was $40 Australian, not really brand new, it's digital. But I got it when it very first came out, because as soon as I saw it, I could not have clicked buy quicker with it. Because I've always loved their guitar tones. They blew me away when I saw them live and on all their records. So as soon as I heard they had that out, I was all over it. But I've done a few videos on that, and you can see my excitement in using that for the first time as well. But this is about these things more so. So either this distortion or whatever distortion pedal you want to use, and I say that because I can't remember the price for this, it's definitely under $100. Definitely under $100. Let's say you spend $100 on a distortion pedal. So $100 for a distortion pedal, not for this one, it does cost that much. $230 for this, and you can get free IRs or use the factory ones here, or buy different packs that are cheaper. But let's say you wanted to spend $40 on that as well. You're looking at, what's that, 100, 330, 370 you're paying for a setup ready to rock and roll, to plug in, straight in, and there's your tone. And especially something like this, if you really like your tone for what you captured recording in a studio, you can use this also for live to go straight to the sound engineer, straight front of the house, and get the exact same tones that you captured there, which is really cool. So there is a quick rundown of matching up the AMD-1 with the Solid Studio. We'll with a little help from Coffee Audio's IR pack as well. So definitely keen on what your thoughts are. If you've used a setup like this, or if you haven't, how do you feel about using a setup for this for either recording, jamming, or rehearsing, or composing, or something like that? Because I will say this too, and I'm slowly doing my goodbyes, my wind-up, but it felt like I was playing through a real amp and speakers, so the responses I got from this felt very natural while I was playing, which kind of led me onto that tangent when I had it all plugged in with the guitar, which is an amazing thing that you really want to, that's a trap that you want to fall into. When you love playing so much from what you're hearing that you're getting, what's the right word? Well, you're focusing more on actually playing than dialing knobs and mucking around with settings. Which kind of means that you've made it. You've hit the spot where you want to do, because it's inspiring you to play. So what are your thoughts about if you have or haven't used this? If you haven't used it, if you would. If you have, yeah, definitely keen for your thoughts too, compared to how I did it, or if we did it identically. Whatever you'd like to share with me, or with us, sorry, the community. It's always fun. So thank you very much for joining me on this little journey, putting this together. It's lots of fun, and I really look forward to chatting with you next time on the next video. And until then, please, stay safe.